Arizona Republican Congresswoman Martha McSally, a key member, by the way, of the House Armed Services Committee. Congresswoman, good to have you.
Good to be on, Neil. Thanks. Yeah, I'm heading there next weekend, actually. I'm leading a congressional delegation.
Be safe.
I will.
Well, what's going on here, you think?
Look, it's hard to tell. It could be just some posturing and trying to show strength coming up to the summit. But we have also seen in the past, 1992 and 2000 and 2007, where they had a lot of nice words about moving towards more of a peace, and then it really ended up being nothing, and they backtracked to their normal oppressive, belligerent regime. I think
so
President Trump.
They have a history of lying.
They have a history of lying, right? Okay. And so in this case, you talk about trust but verify. It's distrust and deeply verify. And we have a diplomatic opening that's historic. Certainly haven't seen in 65 years, thanks to the maximum pressure campaign by the Trump administration. But the hard work's in front of us. Capability, threat equals capability plus intent. And right now, capabilities are still there, as was just pointed out. And the words have changed a little bit, but the hard work is really in the front.
But if Kim Jong-un is saying that I have no interest in meeting with my South Korean counterpart, I mean, do we still go to our wedding?
Well, I think there's still a lot of diplomatic efforts going on behind the scenes in order to prepare for this. So let's see how the next days unfold. They have an ongoing exercise that's going to continue to the end of the month. They have an Air Force exercise with
our joint military exercise with the South Koreans. By the way, is there anything that we have been doing differently that would have prompted this response?
No, we in fact delayed the initial exercise till after the Olympics in a goodwill, but they knew it was coming.
Did we tell them it was coming?
I'm sure they know.
Something to me, Congressman, seems to have either been miscommunicated or that they didn't see coming, or to your earlier point, maybe just doing what they've done.
The Air Force exercises started yesterday, and they go until the 25th, and so that's a little bit of a shift of a new exercise that started, but should be no surprise.
We haven't been any more provocative in any way.
No, not at all. I mean, these exercises are yearly. They're just based on us working with our Korean counterparts to make sure that we're ready to go. We've got interoperability, command and control. I mean, this is what we do all the time, and we shouldn't stop them. Look, if they're trying to get us to stop these exercises when they haven't changed one thing, that would be dangerous. I would not advise that.
So you wouldn't advise that we change it, not stop the exercises, but either, I don't know, don't make them as dramatic. I don't know.
No way. Stay the course now. Okay. Keep up the maximum pressure campaign. We have a diplomatic opening for sure, but the vice grips need to keep being very strong until they actually change their behavior, that they would allow a full denuclearization of the peninsula.
But wasn't that verifiable? The subject of what the meeting on June 12th was going to be about, changing behavior then?
Yes, but all the, Secretary Pompeo has been over there a couple times now, and they're doing a lot of groundwork behind the scenes in order to prepare for that meeting on June 12th. So again, there's a long time between now and June 12th, and a lot of things can happen diplomatically, and the administration needs to, make the decision. We always had to be ready to walk away. Right. President Trump has said that many times. This is his historic opportunity. But we didn't walk away
ahead of the meeting, all right? So maybe it's all settled, but do you think the Chinese are playing any role here, or there's pressure within North Korea that Kim Jong-un has given the impression or given the store away before even sitting down?
I think he certainly needs to continue to show strength. He's got his own internal politics and his own regime dynamics going on. It's hard to tell.
There's any resistance, Congressman, to the overtures he's made now, because he doesn't make them, I know, in a vacuum.
Right.
But that the perception is that, boy, between the release of the hostages, between the denuclearization commitment,
that he's showing weakness potentially. Right. And again, that doesn't surprise me. I'm not saying I can't tell you about classified information I have about what they're actually talking about internally. So he's trying to, I think, show up to the negotiations potentially with greater strength instead of weakness. We are certainly in a position of strength.
Nothing's been canceled.
I'm still heading over there. I want to be able to get on the ground.
Meet you on the other side, or?
We're not going north. We're going to the DMZ.
But if they're worried that all of a sudden the North doesn't want to meet with them, would your meeting be pointless?
I think it's really important for me to get on the ground with this delegation, talk to the troops, talk to the embassy, see what's actually happening real time, and get a real sense firsthand.
Well, have they talked to you, Congresswoman, to say, we don't know what's up?
We've been talking about our plans for our trip, but we'll see when we get on the ground.
All right. The president, of course, has been and making very clear to the State Department, we're still going. We don't see anything changing. Yeah. Is that official read, the official read, you think we should be responding?
I think right now, again, this is just new news. We need to see what happens in the days ahead, and I think it's right to continue to plan towards June 12th. but we always have to be willing to walk away, and the president has been very clear about that. We are not giving away the farm. We have very clear objectives of making sure that no American city is going to be held hostage with a nuclear weapon by North Korea. We will use all elements of national power in order to stop that from happening, economic, diplomatic, and military if necessary, and he needs to change his behavior. He's got an opportunity. Let's see what path he chooses to take.
Well, I've got you here. There's a bulletin coming in that the European Union is looking at efforts to salvage the Iran deal following our withdrawal. In other words, they have not joined us. That is England, France, Germany. Doesn't say anything about Russia and China on our backing away from that, but they're trying to salvage it.
I don't know what that means. It's a crappy deal. We've said that all along. They've had 16 months in order to address these very real shortfalls of the Sunset Clause. In 7 years, they have a patient path to a bomb, that it doesn't address their ballistic missile development, and it doesn't address all their maligned activities and destabilizing activities, and they're the largest state sponsor of terror. And so all of these things are causing Iran to continue to, whether it's in Yemen or Syria or attacking Israel, this is all because of the influx of cash that the Obama administration allowed for them. The Europeans have to decide whether they're going to be with us and they're going to be with stabilization, or they're going to be looking through green glasses only about doing business with Iran. And they're going to have some tough decisions going forward, and I hope they choose correctly to stand with us.
Congresswoman, thank you very much. Safe travels.
Thanks a lot.
All right, in the meantime here, this did have an impact on Wall Street.